Hello everyone, my name is Lucia and in this video I will be teaching you how to navigate Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a virtual platform that many teachers use in their classrooms. Google Classroom is basically a Google Classroom is basically a virtual classroom where teachers upload classwork, homework, quizzes, assessments, and scholars are able to submit all their work online. So let's get started. The very first thing you have to do is open up a Google Chrome browser. Once you open your browser, your internet browser, it can also be Safari, it can also be Firefox. There's different ones, different browsers, but for the purpose, I'll be using Google Chrome. You're gonna press Gmail right over here because scholars have to input their Gmail before they can access Google Classroom. So I input my Gmail, cocosapscholar@gmail.com. This is our Community Coalition's personal Scholar Gmail. For the most part, scholars will not be able to use their personal email. They will have to use their school's email. So schools at the beginning of the school year give their scholars their email. So instead of @gmail.com, we're going to see something like at lausd.net if scholars go to LAUSD district. If they go to an independent school, it's going to have at maybe the initials of that particular school that they attend. Okay, so make sure that your scholar is using their school's email to access Google Classroom. We're going to press next. And in here, I am going to type in our password. Okay, if you input your password wrong, you're gonna get the enter your password again. So I'm gonna enter my password again. And here you go. Now, if it's your first time inserting a password to this Gmail, you're gonna have something like this. A key is gonna pop up and you're gonna see save password ? Username, the Gmail password is here. If you wanna see it, you press the I button to show the password. And if you wanna save that password, you're able to. So why would scholars want to save their password? Well, there's many reasons. Well, one, simply they're gonna forget. Two, so they don't input their password all the time. Right over here, there's this button called Google Apps. So all the apps that are part of Google show up. So we have Maps, YouTube, Gmail, Calendar, but we want to go to Classroom. And the Classroom button looks like this, like a chalkboard with three little figureheads. So here we're going to press, and now we are here in Google Classroom. This is Coco's virtual summer program classroom that we designed for CocoSAP for summer of 2020. We have the name of the classroom and we have the teacher's name. In this case, it's Miss Celia Castellanos who created this Google Classroom. Now, during the school year, your scholar might have anywhere from 1 to 6, 7 of these classes, Google Classroom, depending on how many teachers decide to use Google Classroom as the main platform for their scholars. So if you press here, it takes you to that specific classroom. Let's go back. I want to show you something. We have these two buttons. This button, if you click the one with the little figurehead, is going to take you to the scholars' work. So all the work that they have been assigned, if they have turned in, if they have missed. I'm going to go over this again later on, but just so you know what this button does. This one over here opens up the folder in Google Drive. So it opens the Scholars Google Drive folder. So any documents that they created will be saved in this, in Google Drive, right over here in this folder. So let's go back to the classroom. There are three different sections you can select. The very first one's the stream section. So if you go over here, the way I like to describe it to parents is kind of like a Facebook wall where where scholars are able to make comments, teachers are able to make announcements, they're able to add pictures, links, YouTube videos, any files that they wish the scholars to see. And this is basically like the wall, the school's wall, or the classroom's wall. Then if you press on the middle button, you can go to classwork. So you don't only highlight it, click on it, and now this word turns blue. And here we're able to see every single material that the teacher assigns to the scholar. So the way this classwork section is going to look for every class is going to be different. It's up to the teacher to design and organize their classwork, and they can go by weeks, they can go by topics. So if they're doing biology, might do cell, they might do evolution. It depends on the teacher how they decide to organize this wall. But basically, teachers can add anything. They can add material, they can add quizzes, classwork, assessments, anything that they would give to a student. Physically, they're able to do it virtually through this wall. And you have 3 buttons. So we've seen this one before. It was the very first one that I showed you. So scholars are also able to view their work if they press here. So again, view your work. Right over here, assigned means that the teacher has assigned that particular work. If it says no due date, that means that the teacher is either flexible or is just looking for completion, doesn't have an exact date that they need the scholar to turn in the work. Then we have missing. That means that the teacher had a due date for the work and the scholar has not turned it in. And there's a turn in, so you're able to see if your scholar turned in their work right on. And if it's not on time, it's gonna say done late at the bottom, okay? And that's pretty much it. Scholars are able to, filtered by assigned, by return. Return is grades or classwork or classwork, homework, anything that the teacher has graded and has returned for the scholar to either see what they got as a grade or if they need to resubmit. Missing is right over here, work that they have not turned in. So I'm gonna go back and now I have the Google Calendar button. So if I press on and click on Google Calendar, I am taken to the app called Google Calendar. And it's usually, this default is by week. The scholar is going to see any work or any meetings, class schedules that they have throughout the week. If they want to change it by month, they're able to do that. And they're able to see, okay, I have all of this for this month. They can also go by day and they can go by year. So we're going to keep it at a week again. And usually teachers are either going to send Zoom links in case they have like a class online, programs, after school events, just so scholars are reminded of the important events going on. Then we have the Google Classroom, the Google Drive folder, and it's right over here. I already show it to you before. Any document that your scholar creates will be saved here. So if a scholar has started on an essay, it's most likely going to be in this folder. And then we have the last section, which is the people section. And the people, you're able to see all the teachers that are part of that Google Classroom, and then you have all the classmates. Now, and that's pretty much on Google Classroom. Remember, you have the string, you have the classwork, and you have the people sections to look over. And that's it on Google Classroom. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thank you for watching.